زي ما قلت لحضراتكم ان احنا مش لوحدنا، وان ليه؟ لان القدس مش قضية فلسطين بس، ولا قضية العرب، دي قضية الانسان وحقوق الانسان على مستوى العالم. فكل الناس بتساندنا، وزي ما بقول لحضراتكم احنا امريكان وعرب ولنا حقوق في هذه البلد، والشعب الامريكي شعب رائع فبيناصر الحق، بس لازم يعرف ايه الموضوع. فانا بيشرفني ويسعدني النهارده يكون معانا سارة فلاوندر، هي كو دايركتور لانترناشونال اكشن سنتر. انترناشونال اكشن سنتر وهو سنتر بيدعو للسلام على مستوى العالم، وهي ناشطة في هذا المركز منذ عام 1960، وبتشغل منصب مدير مشارك في منظمة انترناشونال اكشن سنتر، ولها نشاطات كثيرة. وطبعا اللي حصل ده اكشن سنتر وحقوق انسان، ما ينفعش يبقى اللي بيحصل ده لازم يتدخلوا، فهي تدخلت وهذه المؤسسة تدخلت فما يحدث وقرارات الرئيس دونالد ترامب. فخليني ارحب بسارة فلاوندر. How are you, Mr. Flounder?
Hello.
Thank you for coming. I know you had a little bit cold, but you still came, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
It's good to be here talking.
Thank you so much. Talk to me about the Action Center, the International Action Center.
Well, we're really a center of resistance in the U.S. to U.S. wars and to U.S. racism on a global scale, and addressing it also to struggles within the United States. And our role, what we try to do, is to explain to poor and working people here in the U.S. that U.S. wars are not in their interests. They gain nothing from U.S. wars around the world except to become poorer and more repressed right here.
Exactly.
And so what we try to do is do this through demonstrations, through meetings, through social media, through many different campaigns, and to oppose every one of the U.S. wars and U.S. foreign bases around the world, to say this is in the interests of the military, the oil corporations, the military industries. They make big profits.
Yeah,
from
for
wars.
American citizen, it's not a good thing to happen, you know, to
It's
have
not
this country go into the war.
That's not a good thing at all.
Yeah.
And unless it's explained to people in terms they can understand, that their children now lack basic health care. There's an image, an illusion around the world that this is a center of great wealth.
Exactly.
And it is for Wall Street. It is for a very small percentage. But the average person is poor.
يعني هذه المؤسسة ضد الحروب اللي أمريكا بتغزوها، حروب كثيرة ملهاش أي مصلحة. يعني الشعب الأمريكي ملوش أي مصلحة أن يدخل في حروب، إن ده بيروح لمصالح الشركات البترول وأصحاب البيزنس وشركات الأسلحة. وفي نفس الوقت هذه المؤسسة ضد العنصرية، ضد الحروب، ضد ما هو يخالف حقوق الإنسان. يعني دي حاجة طبعا أهدافها كلها سامية، وبتقول هنا المواطن الأمريكي ما بيستفادش من الكلام ده كله. احنا عندنا مشكلة هنا في التأمين الصحي والعلاج، فلو نظرنا لهذه المشاكل مش محتاجين ان احنا نصرف ونضيع فلوسنا في الحروب و wasting money and efforts and army and war has no land.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
And the wars are more destructive than at any time in the past. We can certainly see that in the U.S. war in Syria, where they did so much to instigate and arm and organize the forces trying to destroy Syria.
يعني بيحاولوا ان هم يدمروا سوريا، وبيصرفوا بأسلحة وفلوس وملهاش أي معنى ولا لها لازمة. But I think, you know, the majority of the American citizen, like you, me, and you know, this is America. We are against the administration, not against the U.S. So when people overseas, you know, when they are protest or something like that, they say U.S.
Right.
But
yeah.
U.S. actually it's totally different. You know, I'm talking about the administration.
We're talking about the administration, but it is true for each administration, Democrat or Republican, there is support.
Interest.
Yes, there's support for wars, but it's not in the interests of the average person here. And every time they do a poll, overwhelmingly the population here is against these wars.
Exactly.
But they're not listened to.
Yeah.
And they receive so much propaganda to justify U.S. wars.
Yeah.
This is the role of the media in the U.S.
Exactly.
Not this program, but the media in the U.S.
In the U.S., yes, that's what it is, exactly. So you have protested President Trump's decision regarding announcing Jerusalem as a capital of Israel, and give us some kind of further input, on this decision.
Well, this decision, more than anything that has been done in years, it has killed the illusion of a two-state solution, that the U.S. government would be the guarantor of a negotiated peace process. They've ripped that mask off.
Yeah, because they were using U.S. to be a guarantor for for peace.
That's what the U.S.
يعني رئيس ترامب دمر كل مجهودات السلام اللي ممكن تبذل في هذا الموضوع بهذا القرار المجنون.
Of course, it was never true. It was never true at all. As a matter of fact, even the settlements went from 100,000 to 400,000.
So
in the
years. يعني بتقول المستوطنات من 100,000 وصلوا ل 400,000. فأنت عشان تاخد قرار زي ده كان المفروض في نوع من الاتفاقيات والتفاهم. هو ما خدش كده، وده يعتبر it's a crazy decision.
And all of the aid continued. Now Jerusalem is the very, very important. So for Trump, to everyone.
It's not just Palestinian.
No.
But unfortunately, Palestinian, they are involved of protecting this area, so they are the people getting hurt.
That's right. That's right. But this is really a question that must be up to the Palestinian people.
Yes.
It has been, and their sovereignty, their right to self-determination, and their right to decide these questions. The U.S. has shown totally, they always were, I mean, always, but they have now shown completely, without any question. It's even an embarrassment to the French and the British and everybody else, even on the Security Council. They have now firmly showed themselves completely allied with the Zionists, with Israel, with Netanyahu, and with the demands. So the recognition to say that Jerusalem would be the capital of Israel, this is really crossing a line.
it's أكذوبة طبعا كبيرة إنه تكون هذا قرار زي ده إن القدس تكون عاصمة لهذا الكيان الصهيوني. وطبعا ده يمكن مش في مصلحة الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية ولا في مصلحة أي حد، لأن القدس مش بس بتهم الفلسطينيين، بتهم الناس كلها والعالم كله. The decision, I would say this is going to be initiate a lot of upcoming activities. Could be on the U.S. or out of the U.S. And we always called for a peace demonstration, a peace talk, trying to have kind of political strategy to resolve this issue. Because what happened is those terrorist organizations, they take advantage of something like that. And I believe if any activities from those guys, it's going to be work against that, against the rights, against the rights to have Jerusalem back to Palestine.
Right.
So
well, it won't be decided in the long run by anything that Trump does or the U.S. does. This will be decided by the people of Palestine and the solidarity of the people of the world. That's why there were thousands of people in Times Square and in demonstrations all over the U.S. I think 25 cities there were demonstrations in the U.S. last Friday. And so it was a time when people, and around the world, of course, around the world, to express solidarity with the Palestinian people, and they're totally righteous and justified.
Exactly.
demands.
Yeah. So we feel that the youth lost hope on any system.
Yeah.
For the youth who are watching, right now, they are like, sometimes, it's like a hopeless case. They, sometimes it's like they are not optimistic.
No.
So how do you see that?
Well, they're not optimistic about the system in the U.S. And when it's another interesting thing about
But
these
the system
polls.
keeps changing, right?
No, the capitalist system, which is
Okay.
based on enrichment of a handful of people. They say there's now 8 people that are worth more than half the world. So the difference between the great millions of people and just a
Exactly.
handful
Yeah,
is grown.
exactly, yeah.
And young people today know that they don't have a secure future. That
In the U.S.?
Absolutely in the U.S.
If you
Because the
say
jobs,
that, if you say that in the U.S., that is going to be 100 times worse
right.
somewhere else.
Somewhere else, yes. But until now, there was this illusion that there was great benefits, great future in the U.S. But today, young people face complete, huge debt for their education. They have no job stability, such as once existed. The unions are all but destroyed.
Yeah.
And so they look at the world in a very different way, and they look at the system in the U.S. in a very different way. There's more interest, I think, in radical politics, in socialist ideas, and in opposition to U.S. imperialism as a system.
Yeah.
And there's more of a connect that all of these wars are a crime there and here.
يعني هي طبعا مش عاجبها النظام بتاع الحكومة هنا والولايات المتحدة، وان هي في بتقول 8 اشخاص بيملكوا نص العالم كله بيملكوا، وفي تحكمات في النواحي الاقتصادية. So going back to Jerusalem, what do you think? What's the solution? How this issue can be resolved? They tried many of this, protests and demonstrations among like years and years. Nothing's been changed. The United Nations and the Security Council had a lot of decisions and vote. All worldwide voted for these decisions. They took the decision. Israel never ever
Right.
obey any of this. Never think about having even half of the decision. But it's So what's the solution?
Well, sometimes
how do you see
Yeah.
through you personally and your
Right.
organization as an international action center, how this thing could be resolved?
The most important step in resolving it is to break the illusions that have steered this discussion of Palestine for more than 25 years, since Oslo, that the U.S. would be the broker. The U.S. would guarantee this agreement. And during that entire time, more and more and more was lost of Palestine.
Exactly.
So the first step in any real resolution is to break with that, to put that to the side.
So you don't want the U.S. to be in the middle.
I think now, even for countries around the world, no, there's no interest in the U.S. being in the middle.
Yes.
And really the U.S. Military has been pushed back in the region also. Their role, just as they use Palestine to try to
control.
They used the Zionist state of Israel to divide the region and the repression of the Palestinian people. But
This is very very important. It's very important. يعني هي بتقول ان الولايات المتحدة صممت او خلقت هذا الكيان عشان تقسم بقية الدول العربية وتقدر يكون لها اليد العليا في هذه المنطقة، منطقة الشرق الأوسط.
But U.S. plans have not succeeded in Iraq or in Syria or the Israeli efforts to break up Lebanon. It's become a disaster in Yemen. So U.S. plans are unraveling everywhere, and the ability to impose their will through military means or through arms to Israel, it's another day. It's no longer the age of empire.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea too, you know, just to get the U.S. out of this and be like any other country. You know, don't go too hard, because once the U.S. not backing up Israel will be like, you know, has to go with the decisions.
They have to listen to the whole region. Right.
Yeah, that's a, and to do this, you know, has to be the pressure come from the public here, from the people in the U.S., from the American citizens,
from people in the U.S. who increasingly are very sympathetic to the people of Palestine, despite the media here, despite the corporate media, the media which is very much owned by the oil and military corporations. You know, the media in the U.S. is not impartial at all.
Exactly.
And their role is to sell U.S. wars, but less and less people are buying.
Absolutely.
Or believing.
يعني زي ما قلنا في بداية الحلقة ان الإعلام الأمريكي هو مسيطر على فكرة ان هو يدخل امريكا دايما في يسبورت الحروب ويسبورت اللي بيحصل، وبيدي صورة مختلفة خالص عن المفروض تكون عليه الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. ومع الوقت الشعب الأمريكي بيزيد في تعاطفه مع القضايا الإنسانية، وبالأخص القضية الفلسطينية وقضية القدس، ان هو الشعب الأمريكي بيزداد تعاطفا يوما بعد يوم. فده هيحصل، ولكن الاعلام سيطرته. فده معناه ايه؟ ان احنا لابد ان احنا ننظر للاعلام، وان احنا يكون عندنا اعلام عربي مؤثر، لان ده هو فعلا زي ما سارة بتقول انه الاعلام له سيطرة قوية، وهو بيدعم الافكار السيئة للادارة الامريكية. So the media has a lot of negative effect of resolving these issues.
Very much so. See, I think the election of Trump exposes how deep the decay and the decline of the U.S. empire is. Here they've brought into the highest office the most viciously anti-racist, anti-Muslim, anti-woman person imaginable, who spends his day insulting people around the world. I mean, it reflects that they have less and less options.
Yeah, I really, you know, I like what you said, and I would like to discuss this further with you.
Yeah.
Because you have some idea, you open subjects that needs, you know, a full episode to.
Yeah.
But
this is the decline of the empire. It's going down.
I want to take a final word from you to the American person who's watching us.
Okay.
And to the Arab American.
Yes.
What you would say to American citizen in the U.S. in regard to Jerusalem crisis?
Well, in regard to Jerusalem crisis, I would say complete solidarity with Palestine. So important, never more important than now. And I would also say be confident that resistance is the only option, and that this is an empire in decline and decay. We need to demand jobs and health care and education right here, not wars around the world. And we need to stand together against racism, against attacks on Muslims, against attacks on women, you know, against attacks on the LGBT community.
And for the Arab,
solidarity can become a material force when people understand its power, whether it's solidarity in Palestine or solidarity right here of people who are under attack coming together.
And what would you say to the Arab?
I would say really there's so much that you bring here that can help strengthen the people in the U.S. to have a wider view of the world.
Thank you so much, Sara Flounder, co-director of International Action Center.
Right.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. زي ما حضراتكم سمعتم وقالت ان هي المفروض الشعب الامريكي ينظر الى مشاكله الداخليه. في حاجات كتيره عايزه تتحل هنا في امريكا، في مشاكل كتيره داخليه في الهيلث كير على المستوى بتاع امريكا. طبعا بالنسبه لبره احنا هنا احسن ما يمكن، ولكن على المستوى الامريكي هي عايزه تكون الافضل. فالحروب والمنازعات الخارجيه ما لا لازمه لها. وبالنسبه للعرب بتقول انتوا عملتوا لنا حاجات كتيره هنا، ولابد ان هو النظره تختلف ونكون واقفين مع بعض كلنا، ونقف مع بعض، نقف وقفه واحده. لان امريكا متكونه من شعوب اصلها قد يكون اوروبي، قد يكون اسيوي، قد يكون افريقي، وقد يكون عربي ايضا، وعربي كتير. واحنا فوق ال10 مليون عربي امريكي موجود بامريكا، ولابد ان احنا يكون لنا صوت ومسموع. فانا بشكرها، ولنا لقاء في الفقره الاخيره وختامها مسك مع المحلل السياسي والاعلامي المخضرم الاستاذ باهر شعراوي. ابقوا معنا.